I was really inspired by a thing called Net Squared in the States. It has a similar sort of mission. You know, their tagline is remixing the web for social change. And I went to their first ever conference, and I was pretty inspired by it. And at the time, I was working for Amnesty, working in human rights, and getting into the whole Web 2 thing. Just thinking that I could see some of the potential in unlocking a whole different way of addressing social issues.
Well, we have formed 6 teams in the run-up to the event. The 6 teams will arrive tonight. They have 48 hours to build their social innovation.
A weekend of people who have common interests but perhaps not common skills, and it's about a weekend of people teaching each other things and meeting new people and learning new stuff.
It's a bit of an experiment. It's really just to see what happens when you bring together geeks together with people who've got real deep knowledge of social problems and ideas about how to solve them, really. What I just want to do is set the scene. Tonight is just about kind of meeting people. It's very, very, very laid back. We've tagged you up now with things about everybody in the room. So you should be able to look at people and not even sort of have to say anything to know that whether they are the same as you or different to you and what you might be able to learn from them, okay? So that's what tonight is about. But where we're heading towards is Sunday, 2 till 4, and that's basically the show and tell for the weekend. That's when we show like what we've actually achieved in the weekend.
I just really wanted to get involved, and also on like a wider level, the whole idea of kind of using the web for kind of social goals is something that probably hasn't like been explored as much as it could be, or it's at least a little bit behind what we see like with businesses and commercial money making out of the web.
I really hope to make future connections, actually. I think that's something really good, and I do hope that, you know, I connect with people. I think connecting is the most important thing.
But you need to get people together. You can't just do it online. You've got to meet each other.
It was amazing last night when there was a couple of short instructions to what it was all about, and then the request was, okay, now get on and talk to each other and make it happen. And the volume of noise, it was a wall of noise, and it wasn't a buzz, it was an uproar. And I think at that moment I sort of realised that something was going to happen. You know, it's going to really go somewhere. I mean, today's really interesting, totally different. We're at a totally different point now. We're right in the middle of process. I think people are going to have to shifting gear from the broad vision of the social issue to the hard question of you're going to have to deliver a prototype product by 2 o'clock tomorrow morning involving this technology. You've got to make it happen.
Yeah, so we're split into 2 little teams. We're working on getting the thing working on mobiles, because the idea is to take a picture of a barcode and then send it off and have it decoded.
I met Darren with his coding capacity and Jenny with her design capacity. And this is it. Yeah. We've been here since, 10 o'clock, and this is as far as we've got.
So we're looking at building a platform that enables people to lend and borrow items from within their groups and their communities. So essentially we're going to be able to identify what our group is, either by geography or by the people that we're involved with in some way, and hopefully facilitate that environment.
I've been working on it for a couple of months now, and Young Foundation is actually supporting the project. So they invited me to come along to the weekend in the hopes that I'd meet some good geeks. And I've met Angel, and he's helping me.
Okay. Our meeting's in 5 minutes. We haven't done any work. Can you please go away?
The idea is that it will over time lead to an increase in quality of the prison visits themselves, as they're rated, as they're fed back to their MPs and their governors.
Basically, Enabled by Design is going to be eventually be a portal website that kind of helps anyone who's looking for design solutions to help them sort of get on with their daily tasks.
We're just trying to get the sort of ethos of the product across, really, for the website, because we want to try and make it quite fun, quite inspiring. It's not just your run-of-the-mill product, really. It's really going to serve a purpose for people. So
the central issue actually has already come out for me, which is this kind of a drama between the different actors, really, the people immersed in the social issues and the people who are sort of geeks. And I don't know what your experience is, but I've been around all the different projects, and they're so different, from the room full of people discussing things in abstract to the line of geeks on computers passing parameters to each other. These are all sort of aspects it's the tension, but how do we bring the tribes together, to understand the potential in this thing.
I've been waiting so long to be where I'm going in the sunshine of your
So it's very, very wintry compared to yesterday. It's like this project's been going on for 6 months.
Yeah, I was thinking this morning, the weather really hasn't innovated.
Well, no, I think it's more of an acceleration. We just go straight from summer to winter, in a weekend. That's, like the projects, from nothing to a functioning website, maybe.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're coming up with our prototype website, so it's kind of all the fine tuning basically. So and trying to sort out the presentation for the show and tell.
Trying to get the last bits together, and not tell visitors to bugger off. You get away with it.
I'm just getting them to lie as much as possible.
Right. Okay.
The truth is overrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's quite a tense atmosphere in there. They had a really hard day yesterday. People were still here about 10:30 last night. Came back really early this morning. We fed them coffee and croissant. But now I think everyone's really kind of geared up for the show and tell session, and we've got a lot of people coming over to the Museum of Childhood in a minute to hear what everyone's been up to over the weekend. And you can feel the buzz in the air. It's great. Yeah.
So now what we've got to is they're all going to show and tell. They're going to show you where they've got to in the space of a weekend on these ideas.
So the first project to present is called number 6, which is Stuffshare.
Hello everyone, I'm Tom and this is Seth, our team at the back there, and we are Stuffshare.
So what we did yesterday is actually headed out into some shops and tried to do some interviews. Unfortunately, we did get kicked out of Woolworths to start with, but we managed to go a bit more undercover in Tesco's and got some really good interviews with people, which basically revealed. We were asking them the question: what information do you need to inform your purchasing decisions?
So I just want to talk you through an example of somebody posting an issue they're facing. So as you can see, Dominic is having trouble chopping things finely with a knife without running the risk of cutting his fingers. Denise has come up with a solution that she wanted to share with Dominic.
And then you place the Euro chopper on top of the bottle on a stable flat surface, and then you hit the button on top firmly. Hopefully, the ingredients come out chopped.
Yeah, like a clear conclusion from this is that we should actually reverse the working week so that everybody works with this intensity for the weekends, and then we spend the rest of the 5-day week sipping lattes and talking about the weather.
I was on the panel. It was incredibly hard because they were all brilliant, and what a fantastic group of people.
So, you're all winners, obviously. But we had to pick 2, we felt, and so the runners-up, who absolutely brilliant progress during the weekend, is Rate My Prison. So, who wants to come up for Rate My Prison? And then our winners, which I'll just get straight to it. It was Enabled by Design.
I'd just say really that it's just been fantastic meeting people from all sorts of different backgrounds, the techies, the creatives, stuff that isn't my thing at all, but I've learned a lot from them and we've worked really well as a team.
Just the passion that people put into the presentations as well. It wasn't just like into the product and the idea, they'd actually thought about the presentations, and that was brilliant.
Yeah, really interesting ideas, really innovative. It's a fantastic weekend to bring all the social activists together with the coders.
It's been cool. It needs to happen again. I think doing it as like a one-off thing is almost a proof of concept. I think the next stage is how can we get this rolling on perhaps a monthly or like even bi-monthly basis.
Getting the input from people with a lot of business experience, with a lot of startup experience, a lot of marketing experience, it was absolutely invaluable. Without having come here, we wouldn't be there. It would probably take us 12 months to have to find those people, to get them interested, to pitch it to them, etc. So the fact that it can all happen under one roof without us having to put the work in is kind of amazing, really.